Good evening and welcome to the main news. I am Tarero Manameke with Noble Maungwa at the Sign Language Desk.
My name is Butler Nepure. It is good to have you along, and these are tonight's top stories.
President Emmerson Mnangagwa says Zimbabwe has a lot to learn from Belarus to advance the nation's economy.
We will find out what has been happening from the president's state visit to Belarus. Elsewhere, Courtney Jongwe representing Zimbabwe at the Miss World pageant underway in India.
And in sport, former England and Liverpool striker Emil Heskey eyes investment in Zimbabwe sports development.
Let's start with tonight's top story, which takes us to Belarus, where President Emmerson Mnangagwa, who's on a 4-day official visit to Belarus, visited the city of Brest, where he reminisced how Belarusians defeated Hitler's Nazi Germany 80 years ago, praising their work ethic, which has built a vibrant economy.
Whilst in Belarus, the president also visited a modern dairy industry where he noted that Zimbabwe has a lot to learn from Belarus towards propelling national development. And we get the details in the next report.
Just 500 meters down this way, in 1941, German troops crossed this little river into what is now the Republic of Belarus. It was then the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics, to attack and subjugate the people of Russia. It was a costly war. Almost 20 million lives were expended. And the President of the Republic, Comrade Emmerson Mnangagwa, came here to see how the patriotic war was fought. He laid a wreath at the tomb of the unknown soldier, where the resilience of the Russian people led to the defeat of Nazi Germany. Zimbabweans today emulated this resistance, where they head-on confronted the colonial subjugation. The president touched on those Africans that were frog-marched to the war by the British to fight in that war, and said it was not their willing, but they were fighting for British interests, where some Zimbabwean blacks were taken to the far places like Malaysia, Myanmar, to fight for the British cause, who also wanted to defeat Nazi Germany, and this was achieved. But it was not their willing to go to that war, the president underscored. But what we take from this visit to Brest on the border between Belarus and Poland is that when people stand up to fight and resist subjugation, they usually or they always succeed. The Belarusians today stand tall and look back with nostalgia to that history of resistance. And today they are free people, and the Zimbabweans have a lot to copy from the Belarusians, how they've managed to develop their country.
We have read about this place in history.
Я читал это в исторических книгах об этом.
But I feel privileged that I've been able to visit physically.
Для меня большая честь и привилегия сегодня посетить это место лично.
It is historic.
Это действительно история.
It represents the history of our past.
Она иллюстрирует историю нашего прошлого.
Your historic ancestors
Ваше историческое наследие.
resisted.
И оно здесь
And
перед
this
нами.
is the evidence of their bravery.
A visit to the dairy in Brest on the border with Poland is also an indicator that Zimbabwe can prosper using this technology, modern technology in dairy. And the president said, we took notes, we are going back home and build a vibrant dairy industry.
We believe that those developed countries who are willing to cooperate with us and they hold our hand as we develop, we continue to fraternize with them, and Belarus is one of such countries. Above that, personally, and the president of Belarus are personal friends, so I am here. Yes, I've been very impressed by the modern methods they use in the dairy sector.
Я был очень впечатлен современными средствами, которые они используют.
Is a dairy country.
Сегодня
And
Зимбабве
he
развивается
listened
страна
very carefully
в сфере
about the
молокообработки.
technology and the methods they use here. And I have no doubt that, fortunately, my Minister of Agriculture, who is also a very good dairy person, I'm sure he has gained a lot of technology and ideas from what happens here.
Я был высоко
Who
впечатлен.
doesn't want to go where things are beautiful?
Кто бы не хотел посетить место, где по-настоящему так
I'm
красиво?
no exception.
И я, конечно же, не
That's
исключение.
why I'm here.
Ruben Barrow, ZPC News, Brest in Belarus.
Acting President General retired Dr. Constantino Chiwenga has consoled the Chidyausiku family after the death of renowned editor, poet and novelist Dr. Paul Chidyausiku on the 9th of this month. He was 98. Dr. Chidyausiku has since been granted a state-assisted funeral. And Tendai Munengwa reports.
Acting President General retired Dr. Constantino Chiwenga this Monday visited the homestead of the late renowned first editor of the Roman Catholic run Moto magazine, Dr. Paul Chidyausiku in Seke to pay his condolences. Chronicling the history of the late Dr. Chidyausiku, Acting President Chiwenga said government has granted a state-assisted funeral to the late Pan-African writer for the significant role he played in supporting the oppressed black majority during the liberation struggle.
Dr. Chidyausiku ndo vanga vari dangwe mumba mavo vanga vari vakomana vatatu vasikana vashanu. Imba ine chekuita nenyika yano kubva kuchimburenga chekutanga kusvika pane chimburenga chechipiri. Kuya kwataita panapa isu ndauya ndakamirira mutungamiriri wenyika, asiwo zvakare ndakazvimirira se vanhu vari vemhuri imwe chete. Dr. Paul Chidyausiku vangu sekunzwa kwamaita vanga vane makore anokwana kuita 28 years ekuberekwa. Vakatodarika kupemberera birthday yavo muna January gore rino rechi 98. Saka tinoti anga achengetwa. Munhu akashanda zvikuru sekusarangurwa nanga ndichita pano. Vanozikanwa kutangira kushandira kumambo. Akwete kuti ndoko wakatangira wakamboshanda kumwe. Asi mbiri yavo yakatangira kumambo press 1958. Pavakanga vashanda mambo press yange iri yema Catholics. Ndo vakanga vari kuprinting. Vakashanda ikoko ivo nekurutivi vachinyora mabhuku avo. Nyika vakaishandira. Saka tinozvikudza, tinotenda kuti president vavapa state assisted funeral.
Family spokesperson Ambassador Boniface Chidyausiku expressed gratitude to government for honoring his late brother who inspired the Chidyausiku family to join the liberation struggle.
Tenda zvikuru kuti vari recognize role yakaitwa neMukoma. Mukoma even covered the first ZANU Congress Gweru in 1963. Vari editor weMoto. He worked for that paper from 1958 until 1972. And hondo dzose dzaitwa electronically vashandisa Mambo Press, he was at the center of that. But in addition to that, we are three boys, Mbamedu. We are where we are today because sacrifice Yamkoma Paul.
Mourners are gathered at house number 5, Unity G, Seke, Chitungwiza. A burial is set for this Tuesday at Chishawasha Mission Cemetery. 10 Time Munengwa, ZPC News in Seke.
Now, the government is confident the mining sector will achieve the 7% growth target set by Treasury this year, aided by record gold prices, which are a huge incentive for increased production.
The gold rally, which has seen record prices of the yellow metal to over $100,000 per kilogram, is providing great optimism that the mining sector is headed towards the 7% growth envisaged in the 2025 national budget. Deputy Minister of Mines and Mining Development, Dr. Polite Kambamura, said the firming gold prices are crucial in enhancing that optimism.
Our main cash cow is gold. In the first quarter of this year, we've surpassed our targets as compared to same period last year. The firming up of gold prices on daily basis means that we need to also leverage on that with regard to ramping up our mining production. So we urge all mining companies to ramp up gold production.
Renowned financial analyst Marlon Gweru says the gold sector provides the silver lining for the mining industry.
We are heading in the right direction given the record prices of gold rallying upwards, as well as the mining sector growth target and projection of 7%, and the need for this to be complemented with adequate, policy framework, as well as business operations in a way that ramps up production to leverage on this particular situation where you've got very good pricing of gold output.
The many brownfield and greenfield projects, especially in gold and lithium sectors, have been commissioned over the past few years, while the Manise Iron and Steel Plant ranks as the most iconic projects of all that signifies Zimbabwe's renaissance under the Second Republic. Owen Mandova, ZBC News, Harare.
The country is poised for a good harvest this cotton cropping season, with the national crop outlook pointing to an average of over 60,000 metric tons.
Stakeholders in the agricultural sector are engaging to come up with this year's cotton prices as the cotton marketing season beckons. The engagements come at a time the national crop outlook is pointing to an average production of 60 to 70,000 metric tons, with more than 120,000 hectares having been put under cotton this cropping season. The figure is a significant improvement from the 13,000 metric tons produced last season, where production was affected by the El Nino-induced drought.
It was a late crop because the rains came late, and so you'll find that we had fears that because of the early onset of the winter, that will also affect the opening of the balls. We are also expecting a significant improvement in the yields compared to prior year, because we achieved the same range of output. We were working with over 300,000 farmers, whereas this year that is going to be achieved. We contracted farmers with 100,000.
Farmers across the country are optimistic the targets are achievable, riding on sufficient rainfall received this season.
This cropping cotton season is much better than last year, because last year we experienced a severe drought as a result of El Nino. We are also expecting that this year there will be timeous payment of farmers.
Most cotton farmers received inputs under the Presidential Inputs Scheme this season. John Nandara, ZBC News, Harare.
Well, boarding school learners trekked back to school today, marking the commencement of the second term, which officially begins tomorrow.
In Harare, it was a hive of activity at various pickup points as parents dropped off their children, emphasizing discipline and commitment to schoolwork in anticipation of a brighter future.
As a mother, ndikuexpecta kuti mwana wangu anodzidza nesimba, mwana ari mubatsiri wake.
Tinokurudzira kuti vana vedu vadzidze nesimba, uye maticha ashandewo nesimba kuti vana vapase.
Vana nematicha ngavabatane pamwe chete, vabereki tinavo kumba vana tinge tinawo tivapo mutemo wakanaka kuitira kuti kana vakuenda kuchikoro vanoteerera zvakare.
Learners are super excited to start a new chapter after a well-deserved break.
I just promising our parents to pull up my socks.
Engineer,
Schools welcomed students with open arms, pledging a conducive learning environment.
Tinotarisira isusu kuti tiumbe mwana anokwanisa kunga ari anogona muchikoro achiaplya zvaakadzidza kuchikoro, uyewo ari mwana anogona kuti kana zvechikoro zvisina kubudirira ndinokwanisa kushandisa maoko angu kana kuita zvemasports.
Responding to concerns raised by parents over the burden of extra lessons, the Deputy Minister of Primary and Secondary Education, Honorable Angeline Gacha, highlighted that only examination classes are allowed to undertake extra lessons.
Hazvitendedzwi, hazvisi pamutemo, hazvibvumidzwi nemutemo kuti zvinge zvichiitika zvakadaro. Ma extra lesson edu atino approve isusu, anoapprove through the permanent secretary. Anenge atori ma extra lessons ema exam classes ezvikoro zvinenge zvakanyorera kukumbira kuti tinokumbirawo kuti vana vedu vaite ma-extra lessons muna August takutarisana nekunyora kwaNovember.
She also urged schools to desist from forcing parents to buy highly priced uniforms.
In Bulawayo, the phrase "goodbyes are never easy" was at play as children took selfies with their parents, while others embraced them for the last time before being sent off to school for the commencement of the second term. While it's natural for both parents and children to feel sad while parting for a whole term, the children are looking forward to making their parents proud through working hard.
Yeah, it's quite emotional. Vele parting is not a good process, but then singayenzani umntwana umela efunda.
We hope our teachers are ready for them with this new curriculum. That's what we're expecting.
And then esikolo sifisa ukuthi vele besikhuluma ukuthi sifisa ukuthi report ibuyinhle.
Parents are also hoping for a productive term, which will help their children realize their goal of attaining good results.
Zabala like concentrate esikolo mpase zama ukuthi ngenza ama combinations azanike umsebenzi ongcono.
Ngiyahamba sibile esikolo ngiyefunda ngibale mpase sibile.
I'm going to achieve my goal. My goal is to save my country. Yes. Whether as a doctor, as an engineer, but I have to save my country.
While the process of saying goodbye is difficult, parents consider boarding schools as safer spaces that promote the development of life skills such as time management.
The 4-day diplomatic training for parliamentarians ended in Mutare this Sunday, with legislators pledging to fly the country's flag high when representing the country within the global village.
The training workshop on the role of Parliament in international relations, ratification and domestication of international agreements and protocols ended this Sunday in Mutare, with legislators pledging to advance national interests.
We now know that it is our duty and mandate that when we go on international missions, we are supposed to defend the country and the country's interests.
We are at a time where we are trying to strengthen trade with other countries. So it is very important that you know how to approach these issues, and you know how to express the good of the country and what the country needs.
Tadzidza zvikuru because asingazivi kuti kana uchimirira nyika kana wakudiplomasi unofanira kuziva kuti unoita sei kana wabuda kunze kwenyika. Kana watumwa as an MP kana waenda outside the country, you should represent the country. Don't just think of yourself.
Government says the training program seeks to equip legislators to effectively represent Parliament and the country on international fora.
A parliamentarian is our one of our number one citizens who are representing you and me. They have to be properly groomed, know the etiquette, and be able to represent you in a manner that does not put our flag into disrepute. They have to negotiate agreements, enter into partnerships with other agencies or other countries. So they have to know how to participate in this. And when they go for multilateral meetings, they have to contribute Zimbabwe's ideas into such meetings.
The training of parliamentarians is an ongoing process to ensure legislators have an in-depth understanding of diplomatic issues. Chidyausiku, ZBC News, Mutare.
Or Zimbabwe today joining the rest of the world in marking International Nurses Day, and the focus has been on promoting nurses' health and wellness to ensure a healthy workforce for the provision of high-quality care to patients.
Just like her name suggests, Madajipi, meaning what do you want, clearly wanted to spend her lifetime serving others. At the age of 19, Madajipi chose to enroll into a nursing school, and 30 years on, she is still in the profession she chose out of passion. For Madajipi, being a nurse is not a job, but a calling.
It's not a job which you do for the sake of money. It's a calling. It's something from deep down your heart. I would have left for UK, even some of my colleagues would have left for UK. But the question which you always ask yourself is, when you are going to go to UK, are you going to carry the whole clan with you to UK? So the answer is no. Even Zimbabweans as a society, they need us.
Sometimes things get tough for nurses, especially having to go through traumatic experiences of losing patients.
At work, you find quite a lot of challenges. Some don't make it. Some make it, they go home, and some they go via the mortuary. And that on its own, it really stresses. And even seeing someone who is really struggling, who is unable to breathe, who is unable to move, just like what you and me are doing right now, or even to eat, it really stresses you.
With this year's theme, speaking to the importance of having a healthy nursing workforce, the Health Service Commission says it is committed to improving the welfare of its workforce.
We want to make sure that the issues of mental wellness and physical wellness is incorporated into our daily activities of the health worker. We realize that dealing with health services, you are dealing with patients that come in different states of their own anxieties, and also you are dealing sometimes with death and disability that can affect the health worker themselves.
Since the inception of the Second Republic, Zimbabwe's health sector has witnessed notable improvements through construction of clinics and hospitals countrywide, with the welfare of medical staff being among top priorities. Fungai Jachi, ZBC News, Harare.
Now, for these and more stories, be sure to visit our website. That's www.zbc.co.zw. And you can also follow us on our social media pages on X, on Facebook, as well as on YouTube. And the handle is @ZBC News Online.
Well, there are more stories to come after the break, and this is what you can look forward to. Okatni Jongwe is representing Zimbabwe at the Miss World pageant underway in India. We'll be giving you details on that. And then later on in your sport, former England and Liverpool striker Emil Heskey eyeing investment in Zimbabwe sport development. Be sure to join us for that and a whole lot more when we come back.
Driver, take me to the rainbow's end. Drop me off at my best friend. He's got shoulders big enough for the two of us. He must be getting tired, waiting for the bus. At the end of the day, the work is done and now it's time to play. Tough guys, rough guys, can't get enough guys, never gonna change, 'cause we're made that way.
Zimbabwe, through the Ministry of Transport and Infrastructural Development, is excited to host the 10th International Civil Aviation Organization Africa Indian Ocean Aviation Week, taking place from the 26th to the 30th of May 2025 at the Elephant Hills Resort in the majestic city of Victoria Falls. This event is set to be officiated by the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, His Excellency Comrade Dr. Emmerson Mnangagwa. The Africa Indian Ocean Aviation Week is dedicated to advancing safety, security, and development of the aviation industry. Among the distinguished delegates will be the International Civil Aviation Organization President, Secretary General, Director Generals of Civil Aviation Authorities, among others. Africa Indian Ocean Aviation Week, advancing global aviation standards.
Connected to DSTV this April and May and get all the football finals you want.
Now this is banking redefined. Deposits done. Withdrawals easy. All in one smooth move. Sleek, chic, always on. Your new Stanbic Bank ATM is here. Withdraw USD cash anytime, any day using any Visa or MasterCard at our new Zimre Park ATM located at Puma Service Station, Zimre Park Turnoff. You can also deposit USD cash into any Stanbic Bank account. No more queues or inconvenient opening hours. Stanbic Bank is a registered commercial bank and a member of the Deposit Protection Scheme.
ZBC Current Affairs, thriving for excellence and perfection in setting the agenda, shaping the Zimbabwean story and sustaining the narrative through detailed analysis and discussions, bringing to you polished live coverage of national events. We are ZBC Current Affairs, delivering to you the national budget, live parliamentary debates, independence, Heroes Day and Defense Forces events. We bring you insightful documentaries, special programs, and thought-provoking debates. ZBC Current Affairs. We are definitely Zimbabwean, telling an accurate, balanced, and unfettered Zimbabwean story.
Zim Digital set-top boxes, decoders with all the 7 local television channels and 6 national radio stations are now available for sale. The decoder will give viewers access to ZBC Jive TV, ZBC News, ZBC TV, ZTN Prime, PK TV, Kiona TV, NRTV. No subscription is needed as all the channels are free to view. For $25 or the Zig equivalent, the decoder comes with a cable plus indoor and outdoor antenna. The decoders are available at the Broadcasting Authority of Zimbabwe, BAZ, Transmedia, and all the TV broadcasters.
Welcome back. You're still watching the main news. Now, the government has commissioned some utility service vehicles for Gweru City Council in a move that is set to enhance service delivery in line with the Call to Action blueprint.
The acquisition of the utility service vehicles is part of the broader plan by the local authority to boost operations as the City of Progress angles to attain a smart city status.
These strategic investments demonstrate our commitment to efficiency, productivity, and meeting the evolving needs of our community. The commuter omnibus will improve transportation services, enhancing accessibility and convenience for our citizens. Meanwhile, the single cabs will support our teams in delivering exceptional results.
Government commended the Gweru City Fathers for responding to the Second Republic's call for action in line with the dictates of the local authorities' Call to Action blueprint.
I urge other local authorities to ensure efficient and prudent use of public resources, exhibited accountability, transparent, as well as timely, equitable services to the residents. Local authorities must complement devolution funds with well-structured, widely consulted and transparent technology-driven revenue generation systems, as well as promotion of public-private partnership to stimulate development in areas under their jurisdiction.
Local authorities are currently on a drive to adopt the smart city concept, with government availing devolution funds as the Second Republic continues to push for urban renewal in its national development matrix. Tafara Chikumira, ZBC News, Gweru.
And with that story, we now cross over to our Montrose studios, where Marilyn Gwenya is on standby to give us part of the news bulletin. Good evening to you, Marilyn.
Thanks to you, Terrio and Butler. In our following report, communal farmers in Mabasa area of Zishavane district are upbeat of a good harvest after embracing government's call to produce traditional grains to enhance food security in the face of climate change.
Government's policy of motivating communal farmers to grow more traditional grains has rejuvenated farmers in low rainfall areas like Zvishavane. Farmers who attended a traditional grains field day held in Mabasa area of Zvishavane this Monday indicated that the move to promote traditional grains in dry regions is proving to be a game changer in the face of climate change.
Kana ukadyara chibagi chako nenguva unokohwa nogohwa rakanaka. Basa ravari kuita munomu rinopa varimi shungu kuti shara inodzingwa sei.
Chirongwa chefield day yaitika pano chinovandudza nzvimbo yedu nedunhu redu kuti vanhu vave nechidokwa-dokwa chokuti varime.
Host farmer Mr. Moses Verengera is a shining example of the successful implementation of the traditional grains concept.
Ndakatarisa ndikaona kuti vanhu vari kuita nzara vachinosunza makore ose, saka ine semunhu anotungamira vanhu vemakereke ndikazvitoda ndirime kuti vanhu vagodzidza kwandiri sezvo ndiri mudzidzisi wevanhu vanonamata.
Government is on record urging farmers to take farming as a business and increase production.
Zvairi mvura shoma, isusu sevarimisi tiri kukurudzira kurimwa kwembeu dzetsangaduku kusanganisira mapfunde atinawo iyaya nekuti takatarisa kupedza nzara.
Paita gohwo rakakura asi hakuna kunaya mvura yakawanda. Saka ndoona sekuti nyangwe kurudziro inogara itaurwa naFirst Lady kuti ngatidzokerei kuchinyakare chedu chakare. Tirime mbeu dzakaita nazviyo, mapfunde nemhunga. Ndo dzisingadi mvura yakawanda asi dzichipa utano hwakanaka kuvanhu vedu.
The Second Republic is promoting production of crops according to ecological regions, hence the rallying call for natural regions 4 and 5 to focus on traditional grains. Courage Ushes, ZBC News, Zvishavane.
Small and medium enterprises in Bulawayo are harnessing skills transfer to propel the growth of the sector.
A key sector of the economy, small and medium enterprises are the mainstay of the economy through employment creation. The creation of a skills manpower development center will ensure skills transfer for the sector to realize its potential. The industry continues to surge despite competition from other suppliers. Entrepreneurs who spoke to ZBC News commended government support while advocating for centers of excellence to showcase their wares.
Ambayo lo ithenga uyabe ethenga into ayibhekileyo njengoba uyabona liyachaya izitina nanka ama-stand liyafaka isitofu, ama-wardrobe, ama-cupboard, ama-kitchen units. You make almost all furniture here.
Zvishanda kuri right zvakupa kuti unongofambira nawo nesituation. Vamwe vanotouya vabva kuzvikoro uya votovaitisa attachment. Vanhu vachingodzidza kuita izvo vodoendawo kunoita mavonotsvaga mabasa avo.
Vere amakastomane vatandi into lezi ezisenza labathina lapha ukudlela etown. Vavesithenga lapha into lezi ezisenza lapha siqinile ukudlela ngapha ezitown.
Umsebenzi wezandla wona vele siphila lawo kusukela kudala. So ama-orders lawo engiwayenzayo lawo ngaphiwa for ukuthi ngiyolungisa kwenye i-restaurant.
Abantwana vele abalambi la. Lokuyana kokuthi sithole singene kuzeni emabridgini lokuthi nathi intshengo lokuyana vele akuncedi lokuyana bakhona abaningi sibili bayabuya lapha bazizofunda imisebenzi yabafundisa sibili into zalapha ziqinile ngoba vele amaplanga akhona aqine kakhulu ngawalapha ekhaya ama-customer vele bahlala besithi into zathu ze-right.
Government continues to capacitate SMEs, which are a key contributor to the gross domestic product GDP, through financial support and the provision of safe workspaces.
And our main news continues from Pocket Hill Studios in Harare, where Tariro is on a standby. Tariro, it's back to you.
Thank you very much for that, Marilyn. Now we give you the rest of the bulletin. The ZANU PF Women's League has launched a bold initiative to curb the sale of illicit drugs around schools in a move aimed at eradicating the social ill and protecting future generations.
Spearheaded by the ZANU PF Harare Province Women's League Education Department, the campaign responds to growing concerns that some vendors operating near schools are dealing in drugs, exposing children to the social ill, which is threatening to wipe out generations. This Monday, the team was in Borodio area near St. John's Educational Trust in Harare, where they engaged some vendors who work near the school.
Vana vanoda kuwana kudzidza vakasununguka vasingaitirwe rusha uye pasina anovakanganisa nokuvatengesera zvinhu zvinozovakanganisa mudzidzo dzavo.
Kuti chirongwa ichi chakanakisa chinochengetedza kuti vana vedu vasapinda mumadrugs.
Tiri kushushikana nezvinodhaka nevana vedu because vana vedu vanenge vasisina hunhu.
The initiative reflects the ruling party's broader commitment to protecting learners from harmful substances and promoting a safe and drug-free learning environment.
Muzvikoro mune vanhu vari kuita vending. Vending yavo vari kuita munzvimbo dzisingatenderwe. Ndo vari kunge vakachengeta madrugs. Madrugs aya vari kuya vakaisa muzvinhu zvavanotengesa like ma-oranges, ma-apple, mvura dzavanotengesa.
Those vendors who are pretending to be vendors, they are selling drugs, hiding with the finger of being a vendor. So we are saying, as a starting point, let's make sure that we protect our school children.
Government is intensifying efforts to combat drug and substance abuse through several strategic initiatives, including the establishment of a National Drug and Substance Elimination Committee and the rollout of support centers across the country. Peter Chivima, ZBC News, Harare.
And that report from Peter Chivima takes us to a break. Join us after.
Stuck on you. Ooh, obsessed with you. I'm obsessed.
With Showmax, your favorite characters now follow you anywhere. Download it today and watch the best in local, international, and everything in between.
Atlas Convention 2025 Global Edition, themed Investing in Africa's Prosperity, will be held in Victoria Falls. Experts from plus 133 countries will gather at this landmark event to explore transnational trade, investment opportunities, academic research insights, and bankable high-impact innovations for Africa. From the business of our bustling cities to the melting pot of African adventure safari,
Bungee jump Victoria Falls.
Take a deep dive into a unique blend of adventure experience, diverse cultures, untouched wildlife, and spectacular nature across Zimbabwe, Zambia, and Botswana. Heads of state and government, private and public sector executives, R&D experts, thought leaders, the academia, transformation strategists, and investors will converge to explore unique opportunities and forge partnerships for path-breaking sustainable initiatives that will drive a competitive, modernized, and industrialized Africa. Register today on www.atlasconvention.com. Atlas Convention, bringing African opportunities to the global stage.
ZBC Current Affairs, thriving for excellence and perfection in setting the agenda, shaping the Zimbabwean story and sustaining the narrative through detailed analysis and discussions, bringing to you polished live coverage of national events. We are ZBC Current Affairs, delivering to you the national budget, live parliamentary debates, independence, Heroes Day and Defense Forces events. We bring you insightful documentaries, special programs, and thought-provoking debates. ZBC Current Affairs, we are definitely Zimbabwean, telling an accurate, balanced, and unfettered Zimbabwean story.
Drug and substance abuse leads to serious health problems, financial troubles, accidents, injuries, relationship issues, and addiction, which can be very difficult to overcome. Above all, drug and substance abuse is a crime. Are you struggling with drug and substance abuse? Do you know someone who is struggling with drug and substance abuse related addiction? Get assistance by simply phoning on the Drug and Substance Abuse Unit toll-free number 0714-647-002. Don't let drugs control your life. Seek help and start your journey to recovery today.
Do you remember back in the day? We would gather at that one house that had a TV in the whole neighborhood to watch our favorite programs on ZBC. Whether it was thrilling wrestling matches, captivating dramas, or the iconic Ezomkito, ZBC TV was an integral part of our upbringing. It wasn't just a channel, it was a shared joy that brought us together. Fast forward to today, and ZBC continues its tradition of delivering top-tier entertainment to your homes. Whether you're tuning in for news, music, educational content, or gripping dramas, we're committed to keep you entertained and informed 24/7. With an expanded channel lineup, we're more than just broadcasters, we're a reflection of Zimbabwe's enduring spirit. Join us on this exciting journey as we revive the golden days and create new ones. Together, we're building a brighter future towards Vision 2030. ZBC TV, your voice, your choice.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. 23-year-old beauty, Miss Zimbabwe 2025 Courtney Jongwe, is proudly carrying the country's hopes on her shoulders as she participates at the 72nd Miss World pageant underway in India. And we get the details in the next report.
The Miss World pageant, currently underway in India, is a celebration of culture and global unity as more than 100 beauty queens from around the world walk the ramp, showcasing the beauty of their respective cultures. Proudly waving the Zimbabwean flag is beauty queen Courtney Jongwe, who shared a heartfelt message from the international stage.
So far, the competition was officially opened at the 72nd Miss World opening ceremony in Telangana on the 10th of May. The event was such a magnificent explore of different cultures and different traditions, all different countries that have come together to participate at the Miss World competitions together on one stage and waving their flags, symbolizing peace and unity in the world. And I was proud to be wearing my national fabric as my national costume, as well as waving the Zimbabwean flag high and proud. Now for the upcoming events, we have the head-to-head challenge, top model, sports challenge.
The 72nd edition of the Miss World officially opened on Saturday in a dazzling display of culture where Courtney stood proudly in Zimbabwe's national fabric, waving a flag high, with several key challenges ahead, including top model, the sports challenge, beauty with a purpose, and the multimedia challenge. Courtney is rallying Zimbabweans to continue supporting her. The grand finale is set for the 31st of May, and for now, all eyes are on the city of Hyderabad as the countdown to the crown continues. Patience Nyakato, CBC News.
Our look at the arts. We're off to another break. Join us for more.
ever heard the phrase, "Apana here wanoziva," or "une link here"? That's right. There's always someone desperately looking for one thing: convenience. Having the right link is the difference between getting things done or being left behind. Bank rangu, do link rangu. When I'm on the go, I can make seamless, secure transactions from anywhere, literally anywhere in the world, with the AFC Commercial Bank's Classic and Platinum Visa cards. For essentials like electricity, I just use my mobile app or dial *276#. That's why AFC Commercial Bank is my go-to. Do link Raungiroro. They simplify my life with their convenient banking services, whether I'm on the go or simply sitting on my couch. Simply put, my life is a life well lived.
Zim Digital set-top boxes, decoders with all the 7 local television channels and 6 national radio stations are now available for sale. The decoder will give viewers access to ZBC Jive TV, ZBC News, ZBC TV, ZTN Prime, Pre-K TV, Kiona TV, NRTV. No subscription is needed as all the channels are free to view. For $25 or the Zig equivalent, the decoder comes with a cable plus indoor and outdoor antenna. The decoders are available at the Broadcasting Authority of Zimbabwe, BAZ, Transmedia, and all the TV broadcasters.
ZBC Current Affairs, thriving for excellence and perfection in setting the agenda, shaping the Zimbabwean story and sustaining the narrative through detailed analysis and discussions, bringing to you polished live coverage of national events. We are ZBC Current Affairs, delivering to you the national budget, live parliamentary debates, independence, Heroes Day and Defense Forces events. We bring you insightful documentaries, special programs, and thought-provoking debates. ZBC Current Affairs. We are definitely Zimbabwean, telling an accurate, balanced, and unfettered Zimbabwean story.
Drug and substance abuse leads to serious health problems, financial troubles, accidents, injuries, relationship issues, and addiction, which can be very difficult to overcome. Above all, drug and substance abuse is a crime. Are you struggling with drug and substance abuse? Do you know someone who is struggling with drug and substance abuse related addiction? Get assistance by simply phoning on the Drug and Substance Abuse Unit toll-free number 0714-647-002. Don't let drugs control your life. Seek help and start your journey to recovery today.
Welcome back. You are still watching the main news. On standby now, Lawrence Trusida with your sport. I understand it was Scotland and Zimbabwe this weekend and some shifts in the Kasolaga Premier Soccer League log standings. Lawrence, how's it looking?
Definitely, but some shifts. The flamboyant New Boys up against the defending champions, and the New Boys flexed their muscles. We'll give you that story a little bit later on. We start off with news coming through from Zimbabwe's Open for Business mantra continues to attract prominent global personalities who are exploring investment opportunities in various sectors of the economy. Former England and Liverpool striker Emu Heskey has been in the country and met the Zimbabwe Football Association for possible partnerships in sports development.
I did catch up with the ambassador of Zotes Group, that is none other than renowned legendary footballer, former English international and Liverpool striker, that is Emu Heskey, before leaving the country where they had a 4-day visit here in Harare. Emu, just tell us the discussions that you had with several authorities. Who brought you here, and discussions that you had regarding...
My purpose was to meet with the FA, which we actually met with, and we just discussed different avenues that you can imagine with coaching and development, etc. Managed to catch a game, which is good, and managed to speak to the coach. So yeah.
What impressed you, especially on the football and sporting side in Zimbabwe, in terms of the level of the game and your interest to further collaborate going forward?
I think the level of the game is an interesting one. It's still growing. The enthusiasm of the fans was exciting. That was the main thing. But the level of game is still growing. I think you've got a lot of players playing outside of Zim, who play for Zimbabwe, who's play for the national team. So it's going to grow in that way, but it's about developing on ground as well. So quite a few players that played for the national team, and they look interesting as well. A lot of skill, a lot of pace, but yeah, some probably a bit more direction in structure. But they're getting there. Like I said, things are not just built in one day.
So good news there coming through. Emil Heskey looking at ways how you can cooperate with the Zimbabwe Football Association, and also credit goes upon to the new board that has been also making waves to try and resuscitate Zimbabwean football. Moving on, it was not so good news coming through from Vinduk at the COSAF Under-17 Girls Tournament, as Zimbabwe started the tournament on a low note, losing 3-0 to Botswana.
On the second day of the tournament, Hope Lesotho netted a brace for Botswana, scoring the first from the penalty spot and the second with a stunning long-range finish. Horata Gotle added the third goal, sealing a comprehensive win for Botswana. It's worth nothing that Botswana had a narrow 1-0 win over Lesotho in the opening game on Sunday. Zimbabwe, who are in Group C alongside Botswana and Lesotho, will look to bounce back and secure a crucial win against Lesotho in their final game on Wednesday to stay in contention. This year's tournament features 9 teams in 3 groups, with the top team in each pool advancing to the semi-finals along with the best runners-up. The tournament will run until the 17th of this month. Anna Shemrombedzi, ZBC News, Harare.
So certainly hope that the girls will be at their best on Wednesday as they get to face Lesotho in that final group match. Staying with football, Scotland moved into second position after a Michael Tapera brace settled an entertaining encounter against defending champions Zimbabwe.
It was a goal worthy of winning any match, as the Thunderous strike was more than a goal. It was a symbol to show how far the new boys have come. The expansively assembled Scotland, which went on to build a virtually new team after gaining promotion from Division 1, started the season on a slow pace. The Mavugo-based side went on to bring some of the best players in the land, including the best 3 players from last season, the top goal scorers, as well as the most consistent shot stoppers from the past season. The Mavugo Galactico huffed and puffed early in the season, but they seem to have struck the right chord, and certainly they have risen to second position, just a point behind Moors. The Tondera Ndiraya coach side have won 3 on the trot, something their head coach has been calling for, and their consistency will start sending shivers into the rest of the league, especially with the class of players they have. Never mind the slow start to the season, like they say, big engines take to heat up, and Scotland seem to be in the groove now. Never mind the dull 1-0 victory, courtesy of an own goal against the poor Triangle side on the opening day of the season. Never mind the defeat to Ngezi, the dull draws against Yada and ZPC Kariba. Scotland now mean business. Against the defending PSL champion Zimbabwe, Scotland really showed what they are made of, withholding relentless pressure from the Shamva-based side before unleashing at the right moment to snatch victory in the most unimaginable way. Those who left before the 80th minute might not believe the result, but the timing was calculated to precision. The victory was their 6th of the season, and while it might just be 3 points, the significance is that Scotland is starting to show some fluidity and stringing some good players, something that was missing in the early days. For Zimbabwe, the defeat saw them clinging to 3rd position with 19 points, 3 behind Scotland, who trailed the log leaders by a single point. In other matches, Moors maintained a top spot after another contentious match at Ngoni Stadium that ended 2-0 after 2 Tel 1 players were sent off in bizarre circumstances. Their previous home game saw Manica Diamonds complaining after a questionable penalty was awarded to Moors before what seemed to be the winner for the visitors was ruled offside in another dispute case. Flower Giants Highlanders conclude the top 4 with 18 points.
Exciting times ahead in the Premier Soccer League as we get to hit up that is the mid-season, and the rumors coming through from Dynamos. We get to see what happens after the club posted that they are making some restructuring in their technical department. Moving on now, the newly elected Zimbabwe Handball Federation President Tarai Mberekwa is committed to empowering provinces to effectively run the sport in the country.
After a clean sweep into the office, the newly elected Zimbabwe Handball Federation executive is hitting the ground running, spelling a 100-day roadmap for the sport. Zimbabwe Handball Federation President Tarai Mberekwa said focus will be on plugging loopholes in the constitution and empowering provinces to effectively run the sport.
The Zimbabwe Handball Federation is now at a positive trajectory towards development of handball. The first port of call we are going to look into is our constitution. It has got a lot of flops, so we are going to attend to those ones. Then going forward, we are also going to incorporate the women in handball, and we are also going to make the league kickstart as we are moving towards development of handball. We are also going to approach the grassroots, and we have got an open door policy. We are also going to have all stakeholders meeting whereby we do wide consultations with everyone involved in handball.
Muberekwa, who trounced the former Secretary General Edson Chirodza by 8-1 votes, believe elections are done and dusted and it is now time for handball development.
Yes, we are going to empower the provinces. That's where a lot of our athletes and youth are there. So basically we are going to roll out some projects to empower our unemployed youth, and we are also going to look for sponsorship for those who excel in their education.
All the 10 provincial chairpersons were also elected at the same Congress. Mtokozi Stube, ZBC News, Bulawayo.
Moving on, a Southern Region Division 1 side, Hwange claimed the bragging rights against Megawatt in the Hwange Derby as they seek a quick return to the Premier Soccer League.
The thrills and spills punctuated the Hwange Derby as Hwange FC ran amok, beating somewhat new boys Megawatt 2-0 to put on track their plans to return to the Premier Soccer League. The two coaches shared their reflections of a derby that was supposed to be taking place in the PSL had Hwange not been relegated and ZPC Hwange not sold their franchise and rebranded to Megawatt.
Most important thing is that we managed to take maximum points. That is what we wanted from the start. Of course, you know that derbies, they do not have form. The players, they know each other. They are from the same community. And they share a lot of things. So it was also going to be difficult.
Yeah, congratulations to the winning team. They deserve the win because they went most into attack and they utilized their chances. So it's work back to the drawing boards where we have to again to look at certain issues.
Hwange are second in the Southern Region, 5 points adrift of former PSL side Bulawayo Chiefs, who are dictating the pace. Chiefs handed Nast a 6-0 baptism of fire on Saturday. In the Central Region, former PSL side Shesham looks set for another dance in the top flight after walloping Gokwe North 3-1 to occupy pole position on 15 points from 5 matches. In the Eastern Region, FC Hunters lead the pack with 18 points after a 7-1 trapping of Manica Diamonds developmental side. Ngombe Yaora are jointly tied with Zambezi Gas in a race for PSL promotion in the Northern Region. The Nesbitt Saruchera coached outfit were held to a 0-0 draw by Ali Sundowns, while Zambezi Gas failed to capitalize, losing 1-0 to Banket Mine. Mhlomuli Ncube, ZBC News, Wange.
We stay in the same province, but just move a bit further down as sporting activities such as skateboarding, once considered a pastime, are gaining attraction in Vic Falls.
Government's commitment to leave no one and no place behind, local communities in collaboration with the diaspora are raising awareness and promoting skateboarding in the wetland city. So far, over 60 have embraced the sport with their ambitions soaring.
Probably Bexy skater in the world. Ngabona abanye beskater lapha erodini ngahle lami ngahawukela ngathi ngacela ukujoyina.
Mina ngifuna ukuba i-best skater ngizabe sengikwazi ukuthi lami ngizenzele izinto zami njengoroad.
The trainers and sponsors of this program are optimistic about the future of skateboarding in Matabeleland North Province and beyond.
My journey through skateboarding, moving from Zimbabwe to South Africa and now in Switzerland, what I'd like to bring back to the community is the amount of equipment that I have access to in Switzerland that I am collecting through an organization I have started, which is called Boards for Africa. And so there's a lot of second-hand equipment which is still usable. I have a huge contact with people who then contact me and send it to me via the post or tell me where to meet to collect it. Now I'm connecting with Blessings and Robbie to make it ongoing.
We are hoping for the council to get to engage with the sport so they can help us with the land, especially in our local areas, so that kids don't have to walk to town or walk long distance to go and do the sport. So we are hoping council and government can engage on that.
But it also is about putting ourselves on an international stage and showing these kids that they can create like a life out of this thing. And so hopefully one day with our connections with Kirsty, and I think maybe we can really push to get kids into the Olympics and stuff like that. The thing is, we need to build this infrastructure for skateboarding to develop the skill sets.
The Skateboarding Development Program aligns with the National Development Strategy 1, which aims to increase participation in sport and recreation activities from 15% in 2020 to 27% by 2025. Skateboarding is an Olympic sport, but its development locally has been stifled by the lack of properly constituted federation to run the affairs of the sport. Chidyausiku Kurewa, ZBC News, Victoria Falls.
Well, I guess it's time for me to look for my roller skates and also my board to see if I still have got the skills. That puts a wrap on sports news this evening. It's now time for the weather update.
And so that's your outlook for the week, bringing us to the end of the main news tonight. Be sure to join us again tomorrow.
Good night.